This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now on Good Morning Indiana, we're digging into a new report just out, which highlights safety measures that could have prevented that duck boat disaster, killing 9 members of an Indianapolis family.
We spend hours every day at work, so we should feel comfortable while we're there. The training being offered to employers to make sure workplaces are inclusive.
And it's not always easy for our older neighbors to get good-paying jobs. This morning, how a local organization is opening the door for seniors who need work.
Holiday shoppers, beware the scams you need to look out for before you go holiday shopping so you don't waste your money.
Indigo's Red Line is still new and working out the kinks. This morning, and only on RTV6, we're talking about what's working with the Red Line and the improvements officials are already planning.
Here at 6 o'clock, I want to wish you a good morning and welcome you to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, November 14th.
Good morning, and based on our color scheme, we feel very patriotic today and every day. Look at this little red, white, and blue.
Look at that.
Yes, and we are not blue about this morning's forecast because it's actually warmer. I never thought I would say 30 degrees is warm, but it is a lot warmer than it has been the past 2 mornings, Todd.
It's a heat wave. Yeah, right. It's going to start feeling like that. I'll tell you what, when we get to next week, 50 and sunny, it's going to feel pretty good across the area. So as you walk out the door this morning, as Meredith mentioned, one of the things you'll notice, it's running a lot warmer. With that said, it's still chilly. You still need the jacket, which probably needs to be fairly heavy. And I check the hat and gloves, especially for the kids that are heading off to the bus stop. And then you need the sunglasses. You don't need the umbrella or the rain gear. So this morning, temperatures are running anywhere from about 15 to 25 degrees warmer than they were at this time yesterday when we were in the single digits. Where's that put us this morning? Throughout the duration of your morning drive, temperatures will be hovering in the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. The clouds that were around overnight helping to keep us a little bit warmer. They'll continue to break apart here this morning. So as the morning goes on, you'll start to see more and more in the way of sunshine, and that'll lead to a mostly sunny afternoon. As far as temperatures this morning, we make the jump already to 35 degrees as we get to the noon hour, and then we'll warm a little more from there. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at your roads on this Thursday morning. This is I-65 through the downtown area. A view from St. Clair Street here between the north and south splits where traffic is moving along just fine. No major issues to slow you down. It's still pretty quiet this morning. Taking a look at our traffic now map, we have been monitoring this road work here blocking the right lane of westbound I-70. That's between State Road 109, Knightstown there, and State Road 9 in Greenfield. So if you're traveling in from that area, just use caution. It's not slowing anything down though at this hour, so that is the good news.
Lauren, thank you. The rollout of the Red Line has come with several bumps in the road.
Thousands have taken advantage of the free rides on the Red Line. While Indigo admits to its challenges, it hopes to build on its successes and make improvements. Since the official launch in September, the Red Line has given tens of thousands of people an option to get a taste of public transportation. I met with Indigo President Inez Evans and Board Chair Juan Gonzalez at the transit headquarters.
You better believe that she's getting texts from all of us at any kind of hours. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm waiting 15 minutes instead of 10, what's going on? Because we want to make sure that what we told our people is true. And we're delivering a system that is going to work for the future.
We're constantly looking to see how we can make improvements and make it better.
Among the pending improvements, finding places where people can park their vehicles and ride the bus.
We haven't stopped looking for those partnerships as well on the Red Line. So our team is anxiously looking for areas where they're underutilized parking garages. Maybe there's church parking lots that are underutilized during the day, colleges, things of that nature that are along our route.
There have been successes, including the extra 600 to 800 football fans using the Red Line to get to the Colts games. The free fares for the past several months have also given Indigo the opportunity to build brand loyalty by allowing people to test the service at no cost.
I'm sitting at a dinner event and somebody says to me, "Wood, you know what I did today? I used the Red Line to come here downtown and I'm going to use it to go back," which is super exciting for us. That's the whole purpose of it.
29 buses currently make up the Red Line fleet. Challenges are not being overlooked. Instead, the leadership team is using them to shape their daily and future priorities.
Consistency on our schedule, getting our technology fixed so we can move that part of it so customers can have real-time information, be able to purchase their fares, etc., because that will speed up, and hiring enough of our personnel to ensure that we can meet the service demand.
So from the red line perspective, the technology piece is critical.
Yeah.
We had to fix it. We had to make sure that the app works, real-time information is working. From the Indigo system overhaul, recruiting.
And RTV6 will stay on top of all of those challenges and successes. More of my exclusive one-on-one interview with the head of Indigo and the chair of the board is currently posted and unedited on the RTV6 app and our website, theindychannel.com.
At 6:05, if your child's school was canceled or delayed due to the weather this week, you're probably wondering how that decision was made. Well, there are people working to determine what is the best choice for students and staff long before you even wake up. Our own Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning. And Alyssa, you spoke with multiple school districts in the area about how that important decision is made.
That's right. And when it comes to cold, it's all about the temperatures. I want to show you right now on our Storm Shield app. The temperature shows that it's 30 degrees outside. However, just below that, you can hardly see it. It says our feels like temperature, which is 22 degrees. That's essentially our wind chill. Now, both the temperature and the wind chill are considered by school officials when they make that decision to cancel or delay school.
And each district has their own winter weather protocols. I'm told they always consider how the decision will impact a parent's day, but the priority comes down to safety for students. When it comes to snow or icy roads, Indianapolis Public Schools sends transportation staff out onto the roads very early in the morning to check conditions. Several other districts follow that same protocol. As for the cold, IPS officials will consider canceling or delaying if temperatures are expected to be below zero or if wind chills fall into the 10 minutes to frostbite range. That means only 10 minutes outside waiting for the bus could be dangerous for kids. When it comes to making the call, they always prefer to delay if they can.
If we can make a delay in the best interest of our students and their safety and then still be able to have school where kids can come and get educated, get their hot breakfast and lunch, then we'd certainly rather have a delay and still have school as opposed to just canceling if we don't have to.
In the last 2 years, IPS has had more cancellations due to extreme cold rather than snow.
And most districts, including IPS, will try to inform people that they are canceling by 5:30 or 6 a.m. in the morning. That way parents have time to come up with a plan for the day. And this right now is a great time for you to make sure that your contact information is updated with your school district so that they can contact you when that winter weather changes the schedule. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. An Indianapolis minister is raising the red flag on safety issues at Washington Point Apartments. It's issues she says management refuses to address. Karen Squires is speaking up and calling out the problems she sees every day. Topping her list are the numerous lights in the complex that are either burnt out or flicker all night. She says the lack of light is like a welcome mat for people up to no good, especially after a young mother was carjacked in the very same complex last month.
You see those flat lights on the buildings? Half of those are out.
Okay.
So it's not safe, just like, kids going through these tunnels. That's easy to snatch somebody from behind those stairs.
It's unclear exactly how many lights are out and what time the working lights are scheduled to turn on. We did attempt to ask those questions. Our calls to property management were not answered.
This morning, a warning from police after a tragic accident involving a man checking a flat tire on I-465. The driver who hit the victim stayed on the scene. This happened around 5 near Washington Street on Wednesday. Investigators are calling the crash a tragic accident. This morning, we're working for you with how you can protect yourself if you run into trouble on the highway.
If you do find yourself in that situation, and if it's something so simple as a flat tire, I recommend doing your best to drive off the highway, especially in a urban area where there's plenty of exits. Drive to the next exit and get somewhere safe. Even if you ruin the rim on your car, it is the safer thing to do.
Also keep this in mind, experts with AAA also recommend keeping an emergency kit in your vehicle, one with lights, flares, and reflective vests.
Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative introduces you to jobs, resources, and training. And thousands of people here in Central Indiana are part of the LGBTQ plus community. So this morning, organizers with Indy Pride are working to make sure that everyone feels comfortable when they're at work. Our own Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with how they are doing just that. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. So yeah, whether you work at a desk job, retail, reporting the news, or manual labor, everyone wants to feel safe and comfortable at their workplace. And that's the goal of the Indy Pride organization when they started their workplace workshop about a year ago. The goal of the workshop is to get large employers to get together to talk about how they can make their offices more inclusive to people in the LGBTQ plus community. Executive Director Chris Hanberg says the workshop has grown to almost 100 employers. And he says the people in the LGBTQ community are happy to see their employers putting forth the extra effort.
Every time that I talk with someone from the community that's part of these organizations, they are really proud that their company is participating. They're really proud that their company is present at Pride. And they're really proud that the place that they spend a lot of their time is affirming of who they are.
Hanberg says they discuss things like what's appropriate to ask someone in an interview, how to leave the door open so people know they are safe for disclosure, plus how to use appropriate language in emails to make everyone feel safe. Coming up in the next half hour, we talk to a company who's taking part in these workshops. Hear what they have to say in the next half hour. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. It can be tough for older neighbors to find new jobs. Ahead at 4:16, and Hiring Hoosiers will introduce you to one program helping connect seniors to employers. Todd.
And as you take to the roadways here this morning, temperatures are not as cold. That's the good news. You'll still probably have to turn the heat on, though, in your car as temperatures are hovering below freezing this morning in many locations. But we only drop down into the mid-20s for your temperatures during your drive. We'll end up in the 30s this afternoon. More on that forecast and beyond coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:12. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
RTD6 launched Hiring Hoosiers nearly a year ago, aiming to connect you to career opportunities and training.
Yeah, another part of our mission is also to highlight some of those barriers that are keeping prospective workers from getting good-paying jobs.
This morning, our Mark Mullen shows us a program focused on helping some of our older neighbors who want to work but may have trouble removing those barriers that come with ageism.
Good morning, this is Mary.
Mary Jones is on the job.
I am administrative assistant to the executive administrative assistant.
And that means this 67-year-old has busy days with big responsibility here at the main offices of Goodwill of Southern and Central Indiana.
It's just helped me to blossom more. My life is a lot better than when I was just sitting at home.
Mary had a long career working for the state of Indiana Employment Department, but a severe skin problem turned into a serious disability, and she had to step away from the workforce for years to fight for her well-being.
We got it kind of under control. It was hard to stay at home because that was not my kind of life. You're bored and yeah.
Once her health battle was over, Mary was 56. She felt at a disadvantage trying to re-enter the workforce until she heard about an empowering resource offered by Goodwill.
Yes, we operate the CSET program, which is Senior Community Service Employment Program.
What I was looking for was training to get me back in the swing of working.
It connects individuals 55 and older with job training opportunities that hopefully lead to full-time employment.
And that's exactly what it did. It gave me the confidence that I was to go back to work. It boned me up on my computer skills, which went lacking for a long time.
The CSET program focuses on people 55 and older, assessing their skills and filling in the gaps with new workplace skills while honing their strengths so they can re-enter the labor market. There's even paid on-the-job training. The program then places seniors with local nonprofits or government agencies, not to mention daycares, schools, or libraries. The CSEP program through Goodwill is currently helping hundreds of seniors right now and has helped more than 1,000 over the last last several years. It's a program removing a barrier for older Hoosiers.
We may live in a world with ageism, but what we see tremendous value in employment of individuals 55 and older. And what we see are individuals that have a really strong work ethic. They show up to work, and we're really pleased with working with all levels of individuals.
This program got Mary out of the house and into a living wage position, putting her new skills to work.
Yeah, I'm very blessed, and I'm very happy.
Goodwill executives say the Senior Community Service Employment Program is a win-win for older workers, retirees, and for businesses. Goodwill sits down with employers to listen to their employment needs and then provides specialized training to the participants in the CSEP program. If you would like to learn more or get involved with the CSEP program, you can click on the link we've provided in this story at hiringhoosiers.com.
The time now is 6:18. What I love about Todd Clausen is that he always gives us choices about this time. Every morning. And so, Todd, for $100, I'm going to take the box on the right. Yeah, that's the one that I want. Yes,
right.
Let's order that for the next 7 days.
How much do you want to give me for this one, ladies?
Nothing. Yeah.
Hey,
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I will say, though, it is better than what we have seen over the past few days. So here's your high temperature for the day today. We'll just get this out of the bat right away. And here's where we should be. So obviously, we are still well below normal for this time of year. However, 39 is better than 21 where we were on Tuesday and in the low 30s where we were yesterday. So there is some improvement. A live look outside. See the beautiful city skyline there? As you look from IMS off towards the east, temperatures are in the 20s and 30s. So where the clouds have broken apart already, it's a little bit cooler. Kokomo, 23 degrees. Where the clouds are still present, temperatures are hovering right around that 30-degree mark. I think as these clouds continue to break, we will see temperatures drop off a little bit more here during the course of the morning commute before they start to climb once the sun comes up. But it's slow and steady as far as the temperatures go throughout the day today. We should be up to right around 33 to 35 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. And then high temperatures this afternoon will be topping off close to 40 degrees in most locations, probably 38, 39 here in the city. To the south, you're in the 40s. To the north, you're a little bit cooler. But again, it's progress in the right direction, and that progress will continue throughout the remainder of the week. So there's the clouds that are breaking apart from Peru, Kokomo, through Crawfordsville down towards Terre Haute. Everybody else is still dealing with some cloud cover, but the overall trend will be for less and less in the way of cloud cover as the day goes on. So if you have plans this evening, just know once the clouds break apart, temperatures will cool back into the 20s very quickly this evening. So you will need to have the heavier jacket and the hat and gloves later on tonight. And then when you wake up tomorrow morning, we're talking about temperatures that are going to be in the teens and 20s across the area. So tomorrow morning is very, very cold, but we're not expecting any single digits across the area. And then for the rest of your day tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures very similar to today in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees with plenty of sunshine. Now going forward into your weekend, that's when the temperatures really start to moderate. Right around 40 still on Saturday with plenty of sunshine. Sunday we make the jump up to 45 degrees. And then as we continue into next week, Monday 40s, Tuesday still upper 40s, some 50s across the area. And then finally everybody should get up to right around 50 degrees on Wednesday. Our average high, as we mentioned at the beginning of main weather here, 53 degrees. We should be seeing temperatures around 50 on Wednesday. And by the time we get to Wednesday, the average high is right around 50. So eventually we get to seasonable weather. The good news, or the bright spot in this forecast literally is the sunshine. We do not have any precipitation in our forecast with the exception of maybe a few spotty showers Sunday night into early Monday morning.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at I-70 our east. This is near County Road 700 West. So this is the area a little bit east of German Church Road. You can see that traffic here is traveling smoothly. No major issues to slow you down. So let's take a look at our traffic now map and plan out your drive as you're heading southbound on I-69 through Hamilton County. No problems from State Road 13 down to I-465. It is a 13-minute drive, so everything there is traveling up to speed. So have you started your holiday shopping just yet? Well, coming up at 6:27, the warning you need to hear about those online ads so you don't waste your money.
And we just can't let it go. You get it? You waited long enough. Good Morning Indiana wants to send you to see Disney's Frozen 2 before it hits theaters. Be the 6th caller right now to 317-269-1459 to win a family 4-pack of tickets. The screening is November the 19th at the landmark Glendale Theater. Good luck. If you don't win this half hour, keep trying. We're giving more tickets away a little bit later. The time now, 6:22, where you are watching Good Morning Indiana.
DealDealers.com.
Welcome back, you guys. It's time to see what is trending at 6, and I have my red on today, but unfortunately not my red cardigan because that's appropriate for this story. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's also an adorable day in this neighborhood. Take a look at this, guys. Baby Mr. Rogers. These newborns at West Penn Hospital are celebrating Cardigan Day. Perfect timing, too, considering the movie about Fred Rogers, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, starring Tom Hanks, comes out later this month.
I want those bow ties.
Those are adorable. Yeah, I love that.
Firefighters in Australia have been battling some of the worst bushfires in decades, but one crew still remembered its manners. One homeowner found this note when he returned home. It says, "It was our pleasure to save your house. Sorry that we could not save your sheds." It's signed Yarrunga Rural Fire Service. Oh, and there's a PS. "We owe you some milk." The homeowner was struck by the note and posted online. And in case you're wondering, he says they don't have to pay him back for the milk. I mean, by the time he went back, it probably would have been spoiled by then anyways.
And cheers to Todd Clausen as the temperatures warm up just a little bit. This story's for you, Todd. Divers in the Baltic Sea coming across quite the shipwreck inside the remains of a cargo ship sunk by the German submarine back in 1917 are 100-year-old bottles of booze. The explorers worked for a week to extract 600 bottles of the De Hartmann cognac and another 300 bottles of liqueur. However, the diving crew says they don't know yet if the spirits are still drinkable. Talk about bubbly under the water.
Might be a little flat.
Maybe taste test.
Yeah, Lauren.
You can have it all.
Lauren's
I feel like it could survive.
You can bring it to your husband. He's big into the bourbons. He can give us the official taste test.
Yeah.
And let us know before we all partake. All right, outside, as Raphael mentioned, a little bit warmer here this morning. That's the good news as we get you out the door. It's still cold, though. There's no doubt about it. We're in the 20s, but we should be into the low 30s by the time we get to the noon hour with partly sunny skies. And then as the day progresses, some of you even climb up into the 40s later on this afternoon in southern locations. Still a little cooler to the north, but at least we are trending in the right direction. Each and every day this week, our high temperature will get a little bit warmer. We'll talk more about that 7-day planning forecast for you coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you. So if you haven't started your holiday shopping just yet, chances are you're going to start soon.
Working for you, John Matarese points out what you should look for if any of your shopping is done online.
As you make plans for your holiday shopping, beware of Facebook ads or posts for deals that could be too good to be true. Costco this week warned about a fake $75 coupon that's now being shared. And last holiday season, thousands of shoppers sent money to a fake quilt company. The Better Business Bureau is warning about the Amelia Cotton Quilt Company that promised handmade quilts for Christmas. But the BBB is calling it a scam, saying it doesn't deliver. There's more than 50 complaints from customers who paid as much as $200 for non-existent quilts. Other pop-up Facebook ads are for computer and gaming equipment, such as this 35-inch curved monitor for just $69 from a web retailer with no known address. The BBB says be suspicious of Facebook ads from unknown retailers. Check them out at bbb.org, the Better Business Bureau's website, for complaints. And make sure they have a real address in the United States and that they're not in China or Russia. Facebook says it's constantly policing its site for sham companies, but says they change names and web addresses every day, so be careful and don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
For more cost-saving tips and ideas, you can visit the money section of our website, theindychannel.com.
Now on Good Morning Indiana, here is a look at your 6:30 news feed this Thursday morning. A memorial honoring a Fishers K-9 officer killed during a manhunt continues to grow. 5-year-old Harley is the first line of duty death for the Fishers Police Department. He was searching for 2 suspects after a police chase when he was shot. Harley was later found dead in the woods, and those 2 suspects were taken into custody.
As for the 2 suspects, police arrested both in the Saxony neighborhood. Richard Garrett and Rashana Farrell Barrow are from Indianapolis. Both are 19 years old. Garrett faces a total of 9 charges, including striking a law enforcement animal and criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon. Barrow is charged with false informang.
This morning, we're also focused on Morgan County, still waiting to learn the identities of 2 people killed in a mobile home fire in Martinsville. That fire broke out early Wednesday morning at a home on South Otter Street. Fire crews found 3 people dead inside after putting out the fire. One was identified as a 39-year-old David Fouts. The other 2 victims, a man and a woman, have not been identified just yet.
Vice President Mike Pence will soon return home to Indiana. He will speak at the Indianapolis at Strata Education Network National Symposium next Wednesday. The network focuses on helping to bridge the gap between education and employment. Pence's visit is happening one day after the Go Red for Allie rally for teachers at the Indiana State House.
Good morning on this Thursday. Of course, after some record-breaking days, it's gonna warm up.
Yes, it is finally feeling more like November, but just not quite what we're used to.
And we were joking this morning that it felt kind of warm out there this morning, Todd, when we were walking in.
You know, you can definitely tell the change. If it's in the single digits, that first breath, you're kind of like, you got to catch your breath. And today you walk out, you're like, I can kind of deal with this.
And they break out some shorts.
Yeah, it's still not ideal, obviously, but yeah, it's a little better than where we have been, and that's why I want to start you off with the temperatures here this morning, just to show you the difference. Yesterday, when I showed you these temperatures, they were in the single digits, so we are running almost 20 to 25 degrees warmer in spots than we were yesterday, where a couple of you even got below 0 yesterday morning. 31 now in Bloomington, though, 28 in Greenfield, officially 30 in Indianapolis, 21 in Crawfordsville. And it just shows you where the clouds are. That's where the temperatures are in the 30s. But Crawfordsville, notice how your skies cleared out. That's why you've dropped down to 21 degrees. So as these clouds continue to break apart over the next couple hours, I am expecting these temperatures to drop off another couple degrees before they start to climb again once we get into the middle half of the morning. As far as the snow, there are a few flurries overnight, but that continues to move off towards the east. So as we get you out the door, you still need to bundle up, even though it's a lot warmer than it was. 35 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. We'll talk about the rest of today and look ahead as well to some warmer days coming up in your 7-day planning forecast.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We want to alert you to a traffic alert over here. This is on the west side. We know that West Washington Street is blocked as fire crews are at the scene of this fire here at Warmont. So if you're traveling through that area, you'll need to reroute this morning. Looks like no flame shooting from this area at this time, so that is good news. Looks like they're getting things under control. Our Shea Goodpasture is at the scene, and of course we'll keep you updated, but we just wanted to make you aware of that traffic issue for your commute.
At 6:32, we begin with some breaking news in the world of politics here in the state. This morning, State Attorney General Curtis Hill says he will run for re-election next year. The Republican made it official in a video posted to YouTube and social media just a few minutes ago this morning. His announcement comes even though Mr. Hill faces potential discipline from the state Supreme Court. Hill is awaiting a ruling after a hearing last month on allegations that he inappropriately touched a state lawmaker and 3 female legislative aides at a bar last year. Hill has denied any inappropriate conduct. Indianapolis Attorney John Westerkamp had already announced that he would challenge Hill in next year's Republican primary.
School delays and cancellations are like what many of you are experiencing this week. It can be pretty frustrating.
But school district officials don't make these decisions very easily. Our Alyssa Donovan spoke to a few school districts. She says making a call on canceling school for snow or ice is much different for every single district.
That's right. So each one has their own winter weather protocol. And when it comes to snow like what we received on Monday, transportation staff from districts are up long before any of us are. They're out driving these roads, checking conditions before we even wake up. But when it comes to cold weather, that situation is handled a little bit differently.
School district staff do consider how the choice to cancel or delay will impact a family's daily schedule, but ultimately the decision is made to keep students safe, and that is the priority. The largest district in the state, Indianapolis Public Schools, sends transportation staff out around 3 a.m. to drive the roads after a snow event. That's how they determine if it's safe for bus drivers, student teen drivers, and staff to get to school in the morning. morning, or if waiting a few hours will allow for a safer commute. As for the cold, IPS officials will consider canceling or delaying if temperatures are expected to be below zero or if wind chills fall into the 10 minutes to frostbite range. In recent years, IPS has had more issues with cold than snow.
In the last 2 years, we've had extremely severe wind chills, and that's dangerous for our kids who are standing out at bus stops or walking to school. So we've had to make the call on that as well.
Indianapolis public school officials say they would rather delay than cancel if they can do so safely.
And most districts try to inform parents and families of these delays or cancellations by 5:30 or 6 in the morning so that parents have time to make plans for their day. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
The time now is 6:35. A warning for you this morning. If you use the ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft, you could get a surprise charge on your account and an accusation that you damaged the vehicle. It's a problem that we did not know about until a viewer told us that this happened to her. Call 6 Investigates. Kara Kenny joins us now with what you need to know so this does not happen to you.
When you're riding in a car, you might get mud on the seat, get sick, or even spill something. Ride-sharing companies can charge you for damage, but we talk with consumers who say they were wrongfully charged for damage they didn't even do.
It's a problem riders have dubbed vomit fraud. B. McLaughlin says it happened to her after she used Lyft to take a 2-mile ride near Keystone at the crossing.
Got a notification 2 days later saying I had been charged $100 for Lyft damages.
The Lyft driver accused B of leaving a blood stain, but B is adamant it wasn't her.
You didn't bleed all over the back seat?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, and so you actually noticed it when you got in, you say?
Yeah, and it didn't actually look like blood. It looked like somebody had spilled like coffee or juice or something.
When she reached out to Lyft customer service, they sided with the driver and refused to give B her money back.
They still wouldn't take my word for it. It was really frustrating, yeah.
Call 6 Investigates found hundreds of similar complaints across the country filed with organizations like the Better Business Bureau. Passengers claiming Lyft and Uber drivers wrongly charged them damage fees for things like scratches, food stains, and even dog feces. We reached out to Lyft about B's $100 blood stain charge, and later that day, B got an email refunding about half of the damage fee. The company says her claim was handled in accordance with Lyft policy. We take damage disputes such as these very seriously. Lyft's support team investigates each incident individually and makes a determination based on the evidence available. Tim Maniscalco with the Central Indiana Better Business Bureau says you can protect yourself by looking at the ratings for drivers before you ride. Also, write down the driver's name and plate number so you can file a report later on if you need to.
One of the best protections you can do is actually take a picture before and then upon leaving the vehicle, so you've got some evidence of what the vehicle was like and the condition that it was when you got in and when you got out.
B. McLaughlin says ride-sharing companies need to better investigate damage claims before charging customers.
These companies need to hold them responsible as well. So I think that they should, keep video cameras in their car. I've seen that now.
You can always file a dispute with your credit card company and with the ride-sharing company. And of course, if you did the damage, pay the cleaning fee. For Good Morning Indiana, I'm Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny.
This remains a developing story. Kara will have much more on this tonight on the news at 6. But Uber today tells us that they've updated their receipt requirement policy in May to help prevent vomit fraud, which includes confirming with the cleaning company to verify the charges. The company goes on to tell us in part, participating in fraudulent activity of any kind is a clear violation of our community guidelines. We are constantly evaluating our processes and technology related to these claims and will take appropriate action whenever fraud may be detected. To see a full breakdown of the penalties that you could be charged for in these cases, go to our website, theindychannel.com. We have all the information available there right now in today's story.
I'm Kelsey Anderson. We spend hours of our weeks at our workplace. Coming up, I show you how a local organization is breaking barriers and making sure everyone feels included.
Just go!
It is 6:41. Part of our Hiring Hoosiers initiative here at RTV6 is helping people overcome workplace barriers. That includes issues that are exclusive to the LGBTQ+ community.
So organizers with Indy Pride think that employers, big employers, need to understand how to make people in the LGBTQ+ community feel comfortable to be themselves at work. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with how they are doing that throughout the city of Indianapolis. Kelsey, fill us in.
Yeah, so we all spend a good portion of our week at work. And of course, we all want to feel comfortable while we're there. And that's the goal of Indy Pride when they started their workplace workshops just about a year ago.
How can we be more diverse and inclusive and actually show that?
That's the question Jeff Rowan with Delta Faucet asked as they joined Indy Pride for their workplace workshop.
Most of our community, we want to go to work, we want to do a good job, and we want to come home and be ourselves. And that can be difficult and challenging if we're facing discrimination or harassment at work for being part of our community.
Chris Handberg is the executive director at Indy Pride. He says these workshops have been going on for about a year and has continued to grow now with more than 100 employers on the mailing list.
We all had a real desire to understand and learn from each other and develop a peer group around employers engaging with the LGBTQ+ community.
Handberg says they go over several things, like what's appropriate to ask someone in an interview, how to leave the door open so people know they are safe for disclosure, plus
using appropriate language in emails, making sure to affirm someone's pronouns, and to allow them to be themselves without facing harassment from their coworkers.
Rowan says since joining these workshops, they have received positive feedback from their employees.
We had a new employee start earlier this year who was pretty excited about the fact that we were the sponsor for the Indy Pride Parade. It just shows why we participate in these kind of things. It's because it means a lot to the employees as well as the community.
And his message to other companies who aren't involved in the workshop?
Get involved. We're all in it together and we can all learn a lot.
If you're wanting to get involved in these workshops or just get involved with the Indy Pride organization, you can go to indypride.org. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. A new report out today on last year's duck boat accident that killed 9 members of an Indianapolis family. Coming up, what federal investigators now say could have been done to prevent that tragedy.
40 years ago, it was the latest in portable high tech, even though it wasn't very portable. We'll check out the hot new computer that could talk to you coming up in today's Throwback Thursday. Todd.
And Lauren, as you start to walk out the door here this morning, the clouds are in the process of breaking apart. As that happens, our temperatures will continue to fall a couple degrees here this morning, but it's a lot warmer than it was yesterday. Still right around 30 degrees. We'll be in the 20s through about the 8, 9 o'clock hour, then back into the 30s. We'll talk about the rest of your Thursday forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:44.
Ways to save and get smart.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:46 here on your Thursday morning. We want to give you an update to a traffic alert we told you about earlier this morning. Our Shay Goodpaster is here at the scene of where there was a business fire on Washington Street and Warman Avenue. And as you can see here, and as he tells us that has wrapped up, everything there on Washington Street is back open. Great news for your morning commute. Well, this morning we're learning new details about that duck boat disaster that killed 17 people, including those 9 members of an Indianapolis family.
A new report on the investigation into that accident is out today, and Rafael Sanchez is at the live desk where he has been making calls on this report released from federal regulators. Rafael.
Yeah, just a few seconds ago, receiving a statement from the lawyer of Tia Coleman, who lost 9 family members in that disaster. Let me just read you one sentence from the statement that just came over on the phone for me. They go on to say, well, we commend the NTSB for its comprehensive post-accident investigation and life-saving recommendations. We demand that the Coast Guard finally make passenger safety its highest priority. More on that coming up today on the news at noon. Of course, this report tells us the obvious. The boating accident could have been prevented. This latest report says that the industry was aware of the safety issues almost 20 years ago. What may tick people off is that the government officials raised the concerns and not all safety recommendations were followed. And that's going to really make a lot of folks really mad. Here's the bottom line. The National Transportation Safety Board is is calling for a change in the design of the boats. The canopy over the duck boat 7 prevented the passengers from being able to escape. In fact, we are learning in the report that many of the life jackets stored in the canopy were found unused. The report is also calling for the removal of canopies and for the Coast Guard to take immediate action to make sure that the vessels can remain afloat in an emergency. Now, this may all just be simply too late. Several duck boat companies have stopped operations because they can't get the insurance to cover their trips. Tia Coleman and her family continue their multi-million-dollar lawsuits against the owners of the duck boat. We'll have much more on this breaking story coming up during Good Morning America, as well on the News at Noon. Now back to you.
Raphael, this is a story we will continue to monitor closely. Thank you.
And we now want to check in with meteorologist Todd Clausen. Todd, normally this time of year, if it were 30 degrees like it is this morning, we'd say, oh my gosh, it's so cold, you need to bundle up. However, after the past few days that we've had, we are embracing the 30-degree temps.
You know, there's a big difference between 30 degrees and the single digits. And some of you yesterday were even gone down to 0, and some of you below 0 over in the Crawfordsville area. So it was a bitter cold start to the day, and that's why I want to start you off with the 24-hour temperature change to kind of piggyback on what Meredith was just talking about. Temperatures this morning running anywhere from 13 to 24 degrees warmer than they were just 24 hours ago. And where does that put us? Well, it puts us right at 30 degrees here in Indianapolis. You notice off to the east, there's some clouds, although the sky's starting to clear here in downtown Indianapolis. The winds are out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. That's also helping to keep our temperatures up just a little bit here this morning. So if the temperatures are in the 20s, it's because your skies have cleared. If the temperatures are in the 30s still in your neighborhood, we are talking about still a little bit of cloud cover. But Cupcake here has the right idea, sitting on her bed in front of the fireplace here, just trying to stay warm. Thanks for Lou for sending Cupcake in. And you can send your pictures to feature your favorite four-legged friends on the dog walking forecast. Todd Clausen, RTV6. All right, for the rest of the forecast today, giving you green pause. It's warmer. Obviously, you still need to bundle up your pets as well if you're going to be out and about. As the day goes on, more and more in the way of sunshine. So we start off with a little bit of cloud cover in spots. Once the sun comes out, temperatures climb into the mid to upper 30s, and you can see the clouds starting to break apart now across the area. The flurries from earlier have moved off to the east. You don't have to worry about that, so that is good news. And the overall trend will be for decreasing clouds throughout the day today. I don't think we ever completely get rid of the cloud cover, but we will see more in the way of sunshine as the day goes on. And overall, it's a decent day, just still a little bit below normal with that high temperature in the upper 30s. This evening, we will be in the 20s with a mainly clear sky. Tomorrow morning, it is colder. It's not as cold as it was earlier in the week when we set those record low temperatures, but we're talking about teens and 20s across the area. So as we look ahead, tomorrow we're basically where we are today in the upper 30s with partly cloudy skies. Saturday up to 40 degrees with mostly sunny skies. On Sunday, we are up to 45 degrees if you are tailgating for the Colts game as they take on the Jaguars. As you get to the parking lots outside Lucas Oil Stadium, it's a little chilly, 30s and 40s, but as you walk into the stadium, temperatures will be in the mid 40s. So it looks like good tailgating weather for you here on Sunday as we hopefully cheer the Colts on to another win. And then as we get into next week, that's when the temperatures finally climb back up to right around 50 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Want to take a look at traffic here as you're heading into the downtown area. This is I-65 and I-70 here at the South Split. Looks like traffic is actually pretty heavy and slowing down just a little bit heading into downtown. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any crashes or delays and let you know what to avoid, but just give yourself a few extra minutes.
All right, you have waited long enough. Good Morning Indiana wants to send you to see Disney's Frozen 2 before it hits theaters. Be the 6th caller right now at 317-269-1459 to win a family 4-pack of tickets. The screening is November 19th at the Landmark Glendale Theater. Good luck, and we'll be right back.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Okay, it is time for Throwback Thursday. And these days, if you want to get something, all you have to do is tell Alexa or Siri to do it for you. It seems like technology is getting more advanced every day.
And so, well, 40 years ago this month, RTV6 got its first look at some brand new technology from IBM. It was the first portable computer, but it was a lot bigger than the portable devices that we are now used to.
This IBM portable computer wasn't exactly portable, but as our reporter Linda Lupier found, it was top of the line for its time. She filed this story about the machine that brought the latest in tech into your house or your child's school.
Welcome. I am a 5110 computer.
5110 is IBM's smallest computer. At 50 pounds, it can take care of bookkeeping, inventory, plotting, and with a slight addition, even talk you through its own operation. But no matter how sophisticated computers get, even if they do talk, surely they can't take over all of our jobs.
Linda over for the news channel 6.
If you wanted an IBM 5110 back in 1979, it would only set you back about $10,000 bucks. Could you imagine if that's what we had to pay today for a device?
It's like an iPhone 20.
Yeah. We'd all be really strong carrying around 50-pound phones throughout the day.
And I'm glad the voices from our technology are a little more friendly. Yeah.
But we are now calling on Todd Clausen to give us a much warmer forecast.
It's a little bit warmer. I wouldn't say much warmer. It's much warmer this morning, but as far as highs go this afternoon, we're talking about temperatures that will be topping off in the upper 30s, but our normal high is still 53. So we're still well below normal for where we should be this time of year. The good news is we don't have much in the way of any precipitation heading our way in the coming days. And as we get towards next week, that's when finally temperatures get back closer to the normal high. By Wednesday, we should be up to 50 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us. We're going to be back right here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America.
And all your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com.
Have a great Thursday and enjoy that sunrise. Here comes the sun.